Assalamu alaikum, namaste, hotep, shalom alaikum, peace. This is Tracy Lene Muhammad, and I'm going to take up just a very few minutes of your very valuable and precious time. This Saturday night, I'm reading the book, The Mastery of Self by Don Miguel Ruiz Jr., and I wanted to share with you what he said about unconditional love and then some of the notes that I came to after I meditated on it. Unconditional love allows you to disagree with the choices or beliefs of the other while still respecting their right to have them. After meditating, this is what came out of me. Unconditional love requires you to continuously forgive. For many, that is a sign of weakness. For some, there are things that are simply not forgivable. I'm not in that some. I have grown to a place where I understand that to forgive is not equal to allowing. I am now able to forgive and let go. I accept that not everyone is for me. Not everyone can love me in the manner that adds to my self-love. If anyone is in my life and I have to question their motives often, then I have to let them go. I realize perfection is an illusion, and I will only find comfort in accepting that perfect is conditional. One moment may feel perfect and another may not. Marriage is one of the most complex relationships, and religion tells us that once you say I do, you are never to say I don't do anymore. I don't believe that. I don't believe you have to stay married to someone whose level of marriage does not match yours. I'm not talking about people with separate religions, because many people of different faith traditions have amazing marriages. I mean more in the line of if you or your partner are lying, living separate lives, sneaky, hiding your hand and pretending like the other person is the issue. That's what I wrote down. And I started thinking about how all relationships have that same energy to it. Whether you're married, whether it's best friends, whether it's mother-daughter, mother-son, father-son, all relationships are so complex. But if the love is unconditional, you can get past some of the difficult times. I think I was telling you in another video, having a soul conference with someone can really allow you to see through a lot of the bullshit and get to the heart of the matter. Getting to the heart of the matter will allow you to know whether or not this is someone who should remain in your life on a physical space, or if you should place them in another area in your heart that's cherished, but then you move on with your life, and only you know that. Nobody can tell you that. If you continue to allow other people to dictate how you live your life, they now have two lives and you don't have one. The book is amazing, and I would suggest that you read it. Mastering the Self is the first step to having anything you want in your life. And oftentimes when you say the word master, people say, well, you'll never master something. There's always more to learn. And that's not what mastery of the self is about. What mastery of the self is recognizing when you are allowing a negative thought pattern to pretend that it's you. When you are allowing your thoughts to go into areas that don't benefit you. Now, there's a difference if you are in a relationship with somebody, or whether it's your child, whether it's your mate or your parent, and that person has shown up in such a way for a long time that that's the way you color them because that's the way they've shown up. And then they say to you, for the 1,000th time, they've changed. You want to believe them, so you give them that opportunity. But then the same patterns keep repeating. If that person then tells you that it's you, you need to run like Forrest Gump, because that person is still doing the same thing and trying to deflect, trying to push it on you instead of literally looking at themselves and seeing that their pattern hasn't changed. Now, what I would suggest you do is not to worry about what anybody else is doing, because karma has everybody's individual IP address. You don't have to worry about it. Whatever anybody is doing, it will find them and it will deal with them. Your job is not to try to make somebody else pay. You know, injustice, justice is when you do something incorrectly and you pay the price for it. Injustice is if you have to continue to pay the price. Oftentimes we're in relationships with people and they do something that feels very uncomfortable to us. And I say it like that because they're really doing it to themselves. But they betray your trust. And now you've decided to stay in the relationship, but you continue to hold them in that space when they are actively trying to get out of it. That is injustice. Once you forgive someone, You have to let go. Now, there's a difference in forgiving someone and them continuing to do the same behavior, and you just keep forgiving over and over and over again. While I do believe that you have to forgive, I think there has to be one time where you just say, okay, I forgive you. May you have an amazing life. See you later. And that's it, and move on. Because if they're continuing to do the same thing, that's who they are. And it's probably more damaging to you to stay in that space, allowing them to keep bringing that into your life and allowing yourself to absorb whatever they're doing into your life. It's better to just let go and move on and wish them peace on their journey. I believe that that's a better way of living your life, just wishing people peace on their journey. As I learn to love unconditionally, I'm learning that that doesn't mean that I allow people to stay in my life who bring conditions in my life that are not serving me. That's not love. And self-love would have me to say, listen, I love you and I wish you peace on your journey, but this can't stay in my life. And to move on and not to judge them, because anything you judge probably is going to come back to you. The book is amazing. I'm going to go back to reading it, but I am committed to sharing on my journey because I believe that each of us has something that we can help somebody else with. People are struggling. All people are struggling with some things emotionally. It's a part of the journey of life. So you may have something and say one little thing. I know it's happened so many times in my life where people have come and they've said one little thing and it has set me in a space, set me on a path of further loving and learning myself. I was talking to another instructor today I was sitting in the sauna, and when she came in, we started talking about how meditating in the sauna feels so good. And I said to her, I'm 51 and I'm sitting here thinking, okay, you're 51. Come on. You got to put your foot on the pedal, on the gas pedal. Let's get it moving, because you don't have that much time left. You have more years behind you than in front of you. And just as I said that, the God thought in me said, you have no idea how much time you have. Nobody does. So whether you are 51 or 15 or 5 weeks old, tomorrow could be your last day. You just focus on the moment, live in the moment you're in. That allowed me to stop putting so much pressure on myself and to live in the very moment I'm in. So I suggest, or I invite you to do the same thing, to stop looking at what was or what could be and look at what is, and love yourself for what is. Love unconditionally yourself first, because when you take the conditions of loving yourself, you will find that people that are worthy of unconditional love will find their way into your life. Have an amazing night. Thank you so much for your time. Assalamu alaikum, namaste, hotep, shalom alaikum. Peace out to Brooklyn and everywhere else.